So let's just talk about super method in Python. So the super is mainly used to access the parent class methods and the constructor. So like an example, suppose we have one parent class and also we have one child class. So the child class is inheriting properties and methods from the parent class. Now in the child class we can use the super and we can call the parent class constructor, and here we can pass the parameters to initialize the parent class properties, and also we can use the super and we can invoke the parent class method. So in the parent class, suppose we have one show method. Now from the child class we can use the super dot show, and this way we can invoke the parent class method. So like an example, suppose we have one parent class rectangle. So it has one constructor which takes the length, the width of the rectangle, initializes the length, and also it initializes the width. Now also we have another class square. The square inherits from the rectangle class. Now here also it has one constructor. So the square takes the length and the width. Now from this child class square we are going to invoke the parent class constructor to initialize the length and the width. So here we're gonna write super dot init. So we are invoking the parent class constructor, and then we're gonna pass the length and the width. So the square has the method area. So here we're gonna print the area of the square, self dot length times self dot width. And similarly, suppose we have another class cube, and this is also inherits from the rectangle class. So the class cube also have the constructor in it, and the cube takes length, width and the height. And now from here we're gonna use the super and we're gonna invoke the parent class constructor. So we are invoking the parent class constructor. Now the parent class takes the length and the width, and then the cube will have its own property height, and we're gonna initialize with the height. Now the cube also has the volume method. Now here it prints volume of the cube, self dot length times self dot width times self dot height. So now we can create one object of the cube, and we can pass the length, the width and the height. So length, width and height will be received right here, and then the length and height will be passed on to the parent class constructor to initialize the length and width here, and then the height will be initialized here. And finally we can use the c1 dot volume method, and this should print the volume of the cube. So here the volume is 1000. So here we're using the super and initialize the parent class properties. And not just this, suppose the parent class has the method parent method which prints parent method. Now inside the child class, suppose we have a method child method, and here it prints child method. Now if we wanted to invoke the parent class method from the child class, then we have to use the super. So here we can use the super dot parent method, and we can invoke this way. Now if we call the child method, so this should also call the parent method. So here we are calling the parent method. So this way we can use the super and we can invoke the parent class method, and also we can call the parent class constructor to initialize its properties, and this way we can avoid the code duplication. So hope you understand about super in Python. See you in the next one. Take care.